Hiya, and welcome back to Rain Check, the game that teaches us that saves are non-existent. Well, let's hop right in. We gotta go to extras to get it. Okay, I think it's... No. Case report. Okay. In the auditorium, we sat at the top. She was okay, and Theodore did not. Saves are in the air? Wrong. Corrupted files. A lot of this shit we already read, so we gotta find where we left off. Which, is soon. I think this is here. Yeah, I think it's right here. Theodore said something about helping David again. I think it's right there. I don't know. Day 3. Like, saves are non-existent. Jesus. Startled awake by a loud rumble, I bolt upright and peer out the window, blinking against the bright light. My heart races trying to calm down from the noise. What a storm. I roll over, squinting at the clock for the time. A groan escapes me as I realize it's still the early hours of the morning. Ugh. This is what I get for waking up so early yesterday. I lay back down trying to get comfortable. Despite my best attempts, I don't think I'm able to filter out the thunder. Maybe I'll browse my phone to tire myself out. It's been a while since I've done that. Reaching for my phone, I open my usual app, scrolling through posts and articles. It's a typical array of mundane things, dotted with some amusing pictures. Eventually, some reposted headlines snagged my attention, compelling me to glean information from them. Record high temperatures set across the world. Biodiversity of marine life at record lows. More disheartening posts follow, which I choose to ignore. It's not like these are anything new these days. A soft sigh escapes me. Still, it's kinda tough to stay in the loop when everything's so depressing lately. I flip to the local news section on my app, hoping for a change of pace, but it's more of the same. Drug rates spike in the Western District. Mayor pushes forward with controversial development despite backlash. Alright, no more. This can't be good for my anxiety. Locking my phone, I set it aside, turning my gaze to the rain-soaked window, intermittently lit up by the flashes of lightning. I drape my blanket over myself and bury my face in the pillow. I don't want to just lie around, though. What to do? Suddenly, the idea of visiting the garden pops into my head. I'm not sure if they're open this early, but it's worth a shot. Gradually, I climb out of bed and casually slip in some clothes before making my way to the door. Also, I don't think we have to worry about, NSFW. It's a lot more peaceful in the morning. I kinda like how there's nobody around. Somehow I expected it to be livelier because of the convention, but I'm not complaining. I take the same route as before to the garden, stopping at the entrance when I see how dark it is inside. I try pulling on the glass door, but it doesn't budge. Damn, it's closed. I was hoping to go in for a bit of a relaxing stroll. Listening to me read. I'm so chaotic, though. I don't know how anyone can fall asleep to my reading, because it's so fucking chaotic. To each their own, though. To each their own. Just as I'm about to turn around and leave, I hear some shuffling behind me in the distance. Where could it be? Is it there? No, why would it be there? Ah, please be here. No! Here comes the boy. Hello. Welcome. The reindeer notices me and immediately dashes over. Mr. Gardener Theodore, it's great to see you. I need your help. Hey, David. Good morning. What's going on? His ears flatten as he shyly backs away, his gaze fixed on the ground. I so bad want to give him a Blitz voice. Oh, hiya, welcome. I so bad want to give him a Blitz voice. I lost it. Huh? What did you lose? My car keys. I woke up this morning and realized I couldn't find my keys. My secretary's going to kill me when he wakes up. He turns around and returns to his frantic search around the hallway. Did you drop them around here? Oh, hi, and no, you're just on time. The reindeer doesn't hear me, as he's too busy scouring under every piece of furniture. You don't think you could help me, do you? I'm reluctant, but it's not like I have anything better to do. Sure, let's check around the halls. Maybe it's here somewhere. Roger that. He probably does something. Oh no. I sweep my gaze across the room, searching for any possible spots where the keys might be. It's almost ironic that I'm helping him search for his keys, considering I lost my wallet just the other day. Minutes pass by as we both search the halls and adjacent rooms near the garden. I don't think it's here. Where else could it be? Where did you see it last? I was here last night taking some cool photos of the hotel and garden with my secretary. You don't suppose you might have dropped your keys in the garden, do you? The reindeer's gaze brightens as though he's had a sudden revelation. Oh yeah, the garden! David's smile disappears as he gazes at the garden doors. But it looks like it's closed. The lights are off inside and the door wouldn't budge when I tried it earlier. We could probably ask the staff to open the door for us. You're right, why didn't I think of that earlier? Give me 1 second. He swiftly dashes down the hall, vanishing around a corner, and suddenly a sense of deja vu washes over me. How the hell does he have this much energy this early in the morning? A few moments elapse before I spot David turning the corner down the hall wearing a gleeful smile as he skips toward me. Okay, I got someone coming to help us open the door. Who? Before long, a massive polar bear appears around the corner. Oh, is that the same security guard from the other day? What was their name again? Christopher? Is something the matter? You look funny. Nothing. Just thinking about where your keys might be. The polar bear eventually approaches us, his gaze fixed upon me. You. I gulp nervously and manage a forced awkward smile back to David. Oh, why did we get all quiet? Do you two know each other? No, we don't. Okay, yeah, sometimes I blink out like that too, especially when people are talking to me while I'm playing on my phone. Right. Anyway. The reindeer leans towards the polar bear, attempting to read his name badge. Mr. Christopher! Christopher's fine. Oh, Christopher, would you please help me open these doors? I might have dropped my keys inside and the secretary's going to kill me if I don't find them. The bear grumbles to himself before pulling out a small keyring, similar to the one David had retrieved yesterday, and begins to unlock the door. Oh god, I had a situation similar to David. Except it wasn't car keys, because I don't drive. It was a Nintendo Switch. At the school I used to attend, I go back to my room after dicking around for a couple hours. This was a few months before I started live streaming as Theta Dog. It was a few months. I left my Nintendo Switch in the cafeteria building, the lounge area, completely on accident. Didn't realize it until like 10:30, and I start freaking the fuck out. I immediately go down thinking, oh, maybe the building's still open. No, it was closed. I call the on-campus security. I call them, and they show up, and they're like, alright, I'm gonna go unlock the door, you go get it, and then, you go get it. So I grabbed my Switch, and no, it wasn't stolen. No, it wasn't stolen. That's the shocking part, because the building closed a half hour earlier. I left at 9:45. It was a solid 45 minutes that it was there. It was complete and total luck. And I am still running off of that luck. So, yeah. Take with that information what you will. I am a complete and total dumbass. But no, I still have that Switch. The bear grumbles to himself before pulling out a small keyring, similar to the one David had retrieved yesterday, and begins to unlock the door. You know, now that I think about it, wouldn't someone have picked up your car keys if you dropped them there? Reindeer squints back and cocks his head at my question. I don't understand. It was just us last night. Right, but what about afterward? Could someone have found your keys and handed them to the front desk after you left, right? Oh! I forgot to tell you, we booked out the entire garden last night for my photo shoot. The furry gods looked after your Switch that day. They did! Oh god, oh god. Sometimes your stuff missing for days and it just reappear. Oh my god! I had another situation similar to that. This was years ago. My first smartphone, I lost it. And then I went without a phone for 2 years. Like, I did not have a cell phone for 2 years after I lost it. I found it 3 years ago. No, here's the thing. That smartphone, I lost that shit 7 years ago. I lost it 7 fucking years ago. And I found it 3 years ago. You know where it was? In my old bedroom. It was in my old bedroom. It wasn't in your ass, cats. It wasn't in your ass. No. Denied. Yeah. I forgot to tell you, we booked out the entire garden last night for my photo shoot. Oh, wow. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, although I didn't do it, my secretary did. Man, I wish I had a secretary that did everything for me. There were just a few of us last night until they had to close for the night. Take care of my damn technology? I do, believe it or not. Like, yeah, I misplace shit a lot, but I do take care of my technology. Next time Theta will lose his laptop. No, I won't. Because here's the thing. Whenever it comes to, like, my laptop and my current phone, and even my backup disk, I know where they are at all times. And if they aren't there, then I'm going to have a panic attack. Is that all? Christopher's lingering gaze on me while he talks with David is a bit off-putting. Thank you so much! Oh, what did my dad tell me to do again? The reindeer retrieves his wallet, withdraws a $100 bill from the dozen inside, and hands it over to the polar bear. Just how much money is he carrying? There's gotta be at least $1,000 in there. What? He sounds just as surprised as I am. It's a tip. Thank you for your service, right? Don't you guys tip in your country? The reindeer turns to me, seeking confirmation. Well, I mean, yeah, but... Christopher takes the bill from David, pockets it, and then nods. The garden's not supposed to be open until later this morning. I suggest the two of you quickly look for the keys before maintenance starts. I'll be waiting outside. Okay, Mr. Christopher. Thank you for your help. The bear mumbles something to himself and steps aside, allowing us to pass through. The reindeer eagerly pulls the doors open and flies through, leaving me awkwardly alone with Christopher. I muster a tentative smile towards the bear, yet he counters with an icy stare, unmistakably showing his disdain for me. I wonder where David went. I only looked away for a moment. David? Where'd you go? I can't see a thing with all this mist. I'm over here! I follow the sound of his voice and soon spot his antlers peeking out from behind some foliage. He's kneeling over some plants on the ground, meticulously searching the soil with his paws. It should be somewhere around here. I spend most of the night in this area. No, my generational wealth. Oh no. Resting bitch face. I got resting bitch face. Sure, I'll look over here. What do your keys look like? Oh, that's right. There's no actual keys. It's just a remote. What do you call those thingies? Key fobs. Look for a key fob with 2 R's in the middle. Okay, I'll search over there. Over the next few minutes, I thoroughly searched between the plants, behind the planters, and in the cracks of the floor tiles, but ultimately I come up short. Are you sure you dropped it here? It doesn't seem to be anywhere. I don't know. David approaches from behind me, his eyes brimming with disappointment. He seems on the verge of tears. I couldn't find it either. Hey, it'll be okay. We still haven't searched that side over there yet. I gestured toward a corner of the room with tall stemmed plants. Okay. The reindeer hurries ahead, and I struggle to keep up with him. He's already inspecting the plants by the time I arrive. So if you don't mind me asking, what were you guys doing last night? Another photo shoot for your magazine? Yeah, the photos you took looked so good, I decided to come back for more. But did he really need to book the entire garden? My thoughts are interrupted as I catch sight of something shiny buried within the dirt. Hey, I think I found something. Really? Is it my keys? I brush off the dirt and both of us awkwardly fix our gaze on a shiny rectangular pebble in the soil. False alarm. Let's go back to searching. But we've searched everywhere. I've lost my keys for good. Oh no, he's going to cry, isn't he? That's not true. We haven't looked on the other side yet. But we didn't go over there last night. The reindeer shakes his head sorrowfully. It's all over for me. What am I going to tell my secretary? What am I going to tell my dad? Even if we can't find it, most cars these days can be started with your phone app, right? So it's not too bad. Oh, yeah. Hang on, I'll be right back. And I'm back. Cat got in. Oh, yeah. But the car's not actually mine. It's my dad's. And it's also vintage. He's going to be so mad. David kicks the dirt in a sulking manner. I'm not sure what to do in this situation. We've combed through this entire area. It'll be okay. I'm sure your dad will understand. You think so? I really don't know where it could have gone. 1 second it was in my pockets and the next it's gone. Reindeer rummages through his coat pocket, his eyes immediately darting back up to me. My keys! He pulls out his key fob and waves it in front of me gleefully. I found my keys! Why am I not surprised? That's great! He leaps at me and envelops me in a hug, his antlers smacking against my face. I found my keys! I thought I'd lost them! I try my best to peel the reindeer off of me as he hops around ecstatically. Ah, that's good, but didn't you already check your pockets? I swear I did, but I couldn't find them. Oh well. Hooray! Thank you, Mr. Theodore. Don't mention it. I didn't honestly do much. You've been a big help, and I'm really grateful. If there's anything you need, a favor or whatever, just let me know, okay? I shake my head as politely as possible. It's fine, you seriously don't need to. I insist! Okay, I'll think about it! Yay! When are you leaving, Mr. Theodore? Later this week, why? Perfect, my father has to present this evening, so I hope you can make it to the presentation or the after party, or maybe even both. Tonight? I'm not sure if I have plans or not. That's okay, I'm staying in the main building, floors 63 to 64. Feel free to come by whenever. I can show my secretary just how cool you are. What? This fucker booked out 2 floors of a hotel. This fucker booked out 2 fucking floors of the fucking hotel. How? How? Is his dad fucking Elon Musk or some shit? I don't fucking know. He probably is. The fuck? 2 floors? Yeah, the main entrance is on the 63rd floor, but my room is on the 64th floor, but I guess there's a side entrance you can use on my floor. Just say you're looking for David and then show them my business card if you still have it. Oh, okay, I do, and thanks. I'll keep that in mind. Well, now that you found your keys, were you planning on going somewhere with the car? His expression changed almost instantly, as if all the energy has been drained from him. No! I wish, though. I've just been stuck in my room listening to my dad and his friends talk about business while I'm just on my phone. It's so boring, I want to go out. You can't? I can. I really want to go to the beach to take photos, but the weather's been so lousy lately. Every time I'm free to go out, it's raining or storming or both. He points outside, and I notice that it's drizzling through the glass. Yeah, I've noticed it's been raining a lot. Heard that it's been like that for the past few weeks. Really? That sucks. I hope I can get the chance to take those beach photos. This city has such a beautiful coastline, especially during the sunset. That does sound nice. Hopefully the weather clears up soon so I can check it out as well. It's almost like a conspiracy. What do you mean? The reindeer chuckles and starts gesturing wildly. There's someone reading my mind. Every time I want to go to the beach, they turn on the rain. At least that's how it feels. There's a sudden loud knock at the entrance, and I see Christopher poke his head in. Judging by your commotion, I assume you found your keys. Yeah, I found it. It was in my pocket all along. The bear shakes his head and glares at David as he beckons us out. If that's all, I'll be locking up. Okay, let's get out of here. Thank you again, Mr. Theodore. Don't mention it. I'm just glad you found your keys. Me too. Well, I'm gonna go back to my room before they notice I'm gone. See you later, Mr. Theodore. Thank you too, Mr. Christopher Security Guard. He scurries off, leaving me uncomfortably alone with Christopher again. Uh-oh, I think it's time for me to go. I still got some time to kill before I'm supposed to meet Rue here. I could technically wait at the lobby, but I'd just be on my phone. And if that's the case, I should just chill in my room. At least there's a bed there.
This motherfucker is as dumber as Luffy from One Piece.
So he's as dumb as Goku. I sigh and flop on the bed, feeling utterly exhausted. My mind drifts back to the gardens, then to David, and finally to his father. They're technically public figures, right? I should probably check out their wiki pages if I plan to visit. Curious, I grab my phone and search for their names online. I know a few general things about Nodal Visions, like it's a rapidly growing global company, but I'm clueless about Nodal himself. I direct myself to a wiki page on Nodal Lorix, scanning the page for anything interesting. Let's see, early life and education looks pretty normal. Business career says he started manufacturing and selling AR headset blueprints in his basement, not surprising. I gloss over the rest of the page, but nothing really catches my eye until I reach the bottom, where there's a section labeled Scandals. Victim of hacking. Well, it's pretty short, but filled with a lot of names and dates. Nodal's phone and laptop were compromised days after he joined a partnership with Delta Antarctic Expedition, revealing scalding insider information about the oil industry. And it looks like this happened just over a year ago. I decided to check over David on the wiki, but soon learned that his page is tiny compared to his father's. Page mainly mentions that he's turning 20 later this year and that he runs a magazine catalog, which is something I didn't already assume or know. My concentration begins to wane and I can't suppress a yawn, making my fatigue suddenly apparent. Theo isn't a boy failure. I still have time, I can take a quick nap. No! Don't do that! Oh wait, the lobby's crowded with people now that it's closer to noon. Speaking of which, good thing I came down early. I can use this time to grab a bite. I scan the area for a coffee shop or something, but spot a familiar figure over by some sofas. Is that Javier? What's he doing here? And so early at that, I thought I was supposed to meet with Rue. Make my way over and spot the fox eating some kind of wrap before he notices me well and shoots me a look. Hey, Javier. You're here early.
Good morning, Theodore. I could say the same about you.
His attention returns to the wrap and the phone in his paws.
Before you ask, Rue went out to load his things in the car.
Oh, what's going on? Where's he going?
Did he not tell you?
No, the only thing he told me was to come here at noon. Javier continues to stare apathetically at me as he finishes the last of his wrap.
We finished what we came here to do, and we'll be moving locations later tomorrow. Meaning, Rue is checking out.
I see. He smiles at me for a second before reaching a small bag on the sofa and offering it to me.
Are you hungry?
No, it's okay.
Take it, I can tell that you're hungry. I can't finish it.
I graciously take the bag from the fox and take out the wrap before munching on it. Thanks. What is this?
Fajitas.
I take a bite, nodding at the rich flavor. Oh, this is good.
Of course it is. I made them.
The fox's tail wags briefly before his serious demeanor returns, and he sizes me up.
Listen, Rue told me everything this morning.
Everything?
Yes, everything. Do you really feel so strongly about your conviction? Or is it mainly just to get closer to Rue?
His unexpected question leaves me taken aback, and his intense stare feels like it's delving into the depths of my soul.
Just so we're clear, we both understand how Rue is, right?
I think so, I reply, unsure of what Javier is implying.
I will be blunt. I don't care if you guys have sex, but if that's the main reason...
What? No, it's not really. I interrupt Javier firmly, feeling a mix of offense and flustered emotions from his remarks. I really feel strongly about this. I feel like I've done more these past few days than most of the stuff I've done with my life for a while. And I won't lie, a small part of me is doing this to get closer to Rue, but it's not for the sex. I look away in embarrassment. But there's no point in lying to Javier, he already knows.
Then what is it?
I struggle to form a coherent sentence, my flustered state making it difficult to process my emotions.
You understand this isn't a game, right? We are doing a job that requires precision, and the stakes are higher now than ever before. I can't let you two be distracted by one another.
I know. The fox sighs and pulls out a small tablet from a bag by his feet.
But it's not like I don't see some potential in you. You're lucky I find you bearable and not a dead weight. I believe there are certain potential leads that we should explore with you at some point, too. That being said, I wasn't able to contact my boss, so this will have to do for now.
He taps the tablet a few times before handing it over to me.
Here, sign this.
What is this, a contract?
Yes. One which you'll need to sign if you wish to join us. You'll be labeled as an ad hoc informant.
Right. I nod, but a frown starts to form when I take a closer look at the contract. No independent action clause, non-interference with law enforcement clause, ethical boundaries clause, liability clause. Scroll through the document, reading several more concerning headers.
In short...
What? Javier noises! Javier noises!
We hold you personally liable for any legal issue that arises from your actions during the investigation.
I stare at Javier, who looks like he's just about done with me before turning to the tablet. Isn't this a little too much?
It's what's needed for our safety. I'm not forcing you to sign it, but do whatever you want. I will say, you are already upholding these stipulations, so it's not too much of an ask to have it in writing.
Well...
One more thing. If you sign it, we'll need to have our eyes on you at all times. You're our responsibility now.
He shakes his head and rubs his temples, realizing the words he just said.
So, sign it before I regret my decision.
Seems like I don't have any other choice. I scroll down and neatly sign my name on the dotted line before passing the tablet back to him.
Perfect. Let's wait for Rue to get back before we continue further discussions.
No need to wait, I'm here. I can't help but smile upon seeing Rue. He returns a quick nod to me.
Took you long enough. Theodore had just finished signing the form. I'll see if I can get a hold of Andrew later.
Good to know. That was the only option Javier and I could come up with.
Yes, and now that you're back, we can go over the next steps. I suggest we discuss this away from prying eyes. Do you have everything you need?
The fox stares at me impatiently. What do I need? Where are we going?
Somewhere with more privacy.
You have everything you need on you? We won't be coming back later tonight to drop you off. I pat my pockets. Wallet, check. Phone, check. Yeah, all good. Javier gestures at Rue, his eyes still fixed on me.
It's not that I don't trust him, but we need to keep a close watch on him at all times. There's no need for him to come back tonight. So I recommend he takes his belongings as he'll be staying with us.
Just how long is this investigation going to last? I'm only going to be here until the end of this week before I need to head back home.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Rue also told me that you have no major commitments afterwards, so AirC will provide proper compensation for your time. This is contingent on how successful we are with the investigation.
Unless you prefer to stay the remainder of your time. I could stay with you at night. Javier clears his throat in annoyance.
May I remind you, I'm the one driving, and I will not be babying you two back and forth every night. Especially not to the downtown core.
The wolf strikes Javier a snide stare, and it looks like they're about to argue. It's fine. I don't mind checking out early if it comes to it either. I'll get my stuff.
Great! I suggest you say goodbye to the Grand Marine. Say your goodbyes to the Grand Marine. We won't be returning for checkout as there might still be some... We won't be returning except for checkout as there still might be some use for access here, at least for now.
The fox picks up his bag and starts walking towards the exit.
I'll be waiting outside. I need to make some room for Theodore.
My attention returns back to Rue, who's looking at me sympathetically. You good? You look a bit lost. Yeah, I think I'm fine. Everything's just going a bit fast, but it should be expected, right? Yes, and what did you and Javier talk about? Oh, we spoke about the contract. I look away from Rue's watchful eyes. And about you. Me? About what? I shake my head and shrug back at the wolf. He thinks I'm trying to tag along just to get in your pants. But that's not true. Rue gives me a deep hearty chuckle. Ironic, coming from him. I admit I came off a bit strong the other day. I'm still trying to work some things out. There's a gentle pat on my shoulder with Rue smiling at me. Don't worry. If anything, it was my fault for my advances. We can talk about this later. He playfully punches my shoulder, his ears perked up. For now, welcome to the team. You're in this for real. Thanks. I'll try my best. Good. You seem to have a knack for this. Now, let's get your stuff back before Javier starts bitching. I hop into the back of the car. Javier's configuring the dashboard while Rue's staring out the window.
Ready to go? I'd like to beat the traffic for once.
Yeah. We pull out of the driveway, my eyes glued to the Grand Marine Tower towering above us. Sorry, my brain stopped working for a minute. We pull out of the driveway, my eyes glued to the Grand Marine towering above the street as we drive off. It feels weird saying that. Guess I won't be back for a while.
Now, let's talk about our next steps. The items we collected so far have been mostly processed, and we can go over the findings together.
How's the USB? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Hang on. Give me a minute to write this out. Give me a minute. Okay, I think I'm good. How's the USB?
Corrupted. No thanks to you. But luckily my phone survived.
That's good. I can only feel my face warm from embarrassment. I still feel awful about what happened. I'm assuming Theodore's coming along with us tonight.
Correct. He'll be extremely useful, especially with what Lawrence wants us to do.
What does he want us to do?
I was just about to get to that. I spoke with him earlier, and it turns out the place we're heading to later is a speakeasy, not a pub. There's been reports of suspicious dealings that all involve skeleton, and seems to be a prime hotspot for people to gather.
Right, so we're going there to get intel about said dealings?
That's part of it. The main reason is to find someone.
Who? The survivor.
Exactly. You can always use another pair of eyes scouting things around, not to mention your eyesight is exceptional.
Wait, survivor? What? You don't mean the survivor from the harbor fire?
Yes, that's the one. There were sightings of them at the library.
Sorry, library?
That's the name of the speakeasy.
What do they look like? Do we have any information on that?
We don't know their species. We just know that they have a noticeable burn mark on their arm and upper body.
Nothing else? No public records or anything?
There are only fragments of blurred images online from old news sites, all reporting the same thing. But in terms of official records regarding the survivor, it looks like they were all scrubbed clean.
Ah. Oh, the survivor was the bacon. Yes! The bacon! Fucking love the bacon. Something feels off about this, but I'm not sure what it is. Aw, is it the Baconator? It's not the Baconator. Sad. I wonder what Rue is thinking. He's been awfully quiet. How do you feel about all this, Rue? It's promising, although I'm not sure how reliable this lead is.
Yes, but it doesn't hurt to scout the location out, especially with our recent discoveries at the power plant.
The fox doesn't say any more, instead focusing on the drive, with the ambience slowly filling the car as we stay silent. After some time, Javier turns onto a familiar street where I recognize certain unique landmarks and buildings. Hey, are we near Dust's Cafe?
Correct, I'm going to make a quick stop. I need to pick something up.
The fox drives down the street and into a small empty parking lot a few buildings down from the Puma's Brew.
Stay here, this should be quick.
You're not going along, Rue? The wolf shakes his head. He mentioned to me needing to pick up some supplies for the investigation. At Dust's Cafe. Knowing him is probably something mundane. Right. So where are we going afterwards? Javier's apartment. Wait, really? I thought we were going to some facility or lab to look over the stuff we found yesterday. He does all that at his house. Says it's easier for him than having things transported to and from the office. Ah, that makes sense. Does he live far from here? No, another few minutes north of here. I look out the window, trying to visualize where that would be when I see Javier making his way back carrying a large brown bag in his paws. Oh, he's back. He approaches my door and I instinctively open it, assisting him in taking the bag from his paws.
Ugh. Talk about heavy! You can set that aside on the floor.
I furrow my brows as I take the bag from the struggling fox. Wait, this isn't heavy at all! What's in the bag? Curious, I decide to peer inside. What's this large, suspicious plastic bag of white powder and jars of liquid? Obviously for his cocaine addiction. Javier rolls his eyes at Rue's teasing, clearly unamused.
No, you mutt! It's baking soda. I ran out and need more to develop some
What?
some latent fingerprints.
Oh, cool. What's the water for?
It's ethanol, and I need it as a solvent. Only dust can obtain such high concentrations with this food license.
Drug addict and alcoholic. What happened to you, Javier?
Ha! It's 'cause I have to put up with you.
The two continue their banter as I'm just caught in the middle of it, chuckling between their remarks. See, I'd be fucking silent. I'd be too scared to talk at all. We finally arrive after a couple of turns. I didn't expect Javier to live in such a rustic-looking place. He mentioned something about cheap rent on the way up, but still. Oh, this is nice! The fox leads us to his unit and stepping in. I noticed just how low everything is. It's funny because Javier isn't tall. Everything is neatly organized, and it feels like I stepped into a library with how many bookshelves there are. Oh, that's odd. I don't really smell anything in here. Girly said Javier's a small bitch. Isn't he like the shortest one in this game? Also, cheap apartment. Yeah, no, that is not cheap. That is easily $5 grand a month.
It's time to drink water.
Like, that is easily $5
It's
grand a
time to
month.
drink water. It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
Oh, that's odd. I don't really smell anything in here.
You can put the bag over there.
The fox indicates a small table in his living room, and it's actually the only available spot to place anything. Rue enters last behind me, emphasizing just how tall he truly is.
If you could follow me to this room, I'd like to show you some of the findings I processed. Please don't touch anything inside.
The fox guides us to a small room where a long table is set up with various equipment and lights mounted on top. This setup almost looks like the lab rooms we passed by at the power plant. Geez, I wonder how much Javier makes to afford such a place.
I captured some pictures of the area when I was infiltrating the back just for documentation, but I didn't capture anything of interest.
The fox points to a laptop at the middle of the table and lets out a disappointed sigh.
And I spent most of last night trying to recover the data that we captured at the server room, but haven't got much luck. It's mostly corrupted, and the parts that aren't don't contain any valuable information.
How significant do you think the data would be if recovered?
It depends, but after that whole ordeal, I would bet it's pretty significant if they're trying to back it up.
I'm asking because you don't have an unlimited amount of time with Theodore. If the data's significance is low, I suggest we prioritize other leads.
Fair point, but I've already managed to process most of the other things we collected.
The fox grips a small black light and uses it to illuminate the knife on the table, the very one that had been used by the snow leopard. Sections of the knife begin taking on a ghostly blue hue.
You see that glow by the hilt? That's iconic to the knives manufactured in Southeast Asia, which, may I remind you, are banned here.
You don't think they smuggled that in? They definitely did, and no one smuggles just one knife. They must be importing contraband in the masses. If only we knew from who.
Regardless, I succeeded in obtaining paw prints from the blade and managed to obtain a single, distinct set of prints.
The fox turns off the blacklight and guides our attention to the redacted, crumpled piece of paper next to the knife.
Which leads me to this.
Alright, what did you find out about it?
Not much, admittedly. I'm still trying to figure out how to handle the redactions, but I've managed to lift some paw prints from this too.
Did it match the ones found on the knife?
Yes, almost perfectly too, but there was another set that I couldn't identify. There were mine, Srew's, and the snow leopards on the paper, which was expected. There was one where I couldn't obtain a clear lift, yet it's undeniably distinct. It's easily distinguishable if the prints are somehow obscured. Even if the prints are somehow obscured.
We saw other people there when we were trying to save Monty. Maybe it belongs to one of them? Maybe, but I don't think a grunt would be permitted to handle something as sensitive as this. even if it was suggested to be incinerated. So there's someone else working with the snow leopard, someone in Blackout?
It's all speculation right now, but I'm hoping more will be revealed when I eventually dissolve the redactors. As a side note, I couldn't find anything when I searched online for Blackout or any information connecting to a snow leopard to the power plant.
Hard to tell what they look like when they're wearing a damn mask. Wait, and how do we explain what happened at the power plant? When we arrived, it looked like everyone had just vanished on the spot. Javier stares intently at his laptop and nods.
Yes, about that. We don't have a concrete explanation right now, but I do have a strong theory. Nobody just disappears like this unless they had a good reason to. In this case, it seems like they were fleeing from something. Or someone.
Right. And if they were imposing already as a... If they were that imposing already as a gang, it would have been something serious. What about the police?
That is certainly a possibility, but if it were the case, it wouldn't explain why the area wasn't sealed off, or why there wasn't any police activity when we arrived.
So...
What could threaten a criminal network other than another criminal network? It's not uncommon for multiple gangs to fill the streets and have their own conflicts between them, but it certainly is alarming if so.
I see. What about that sigil Lawrence showed you? What's that about?
I don't know. He said it was included in the data I requested, but I couldn't find anything on it yet.
Speaking of which, what about the data itself? You never did tell me how that was going.
I only spent a few moments parsing through the data, but everything seems to be in order.
Show me. I'm curious to read over the files. Is it okay for me to ask what the data is about? The fox sighs and gestures to the room across from us.
I haven't transferred it over to my laptop yet, but I suppose I can show you guys in my room.
This should be fun. Bruce smirks at me, but I return a puzzled look, not understanding what he's referring to.
Shut it! Do you want to see it or not?
Oh my god. He is a nerd. Javier is a nerd. Around the world, around the world, around the world, around the world, around... He is a nerd and I am all for it. In the wise words of... In the wise words of random shit that I used to say and sometimes still do, he's not a nerd, he's a fucking nerd. Which means he is cool. Like, if you're a nerd, you're okay. But if you're a fucking nerd, then you're cool. You're cool as hell. You're the coolest guy in the room. And Javier, you're a fucking nerd. Javier unlocks the largest door across the hall, revealing an immaculate-looking bedroom adorned with multiple display cases showcasing model airplanes. Whoa. That's a lot. How many are there?
178 to be exact.
What the
To be exact.
That's 4 more than last time I came over.
Please be careful when you sway your tails. These models are extremely fragile.
Is this where you do your work? I point toward the table in the corner where there's a large PC setup with multiple monitors attached to the walls in the table.
Yes, I spend most of my time analyzing data here.
What I don't get is why you need 5 monitors to watch porn. The fox gives a look of disapproval at Rue.
Speak for yourself.
Javier hops onto his chair, which makes him appear even shorter than he already is. God damn it! Which makes him appear even shorter than he already is and logs onto his computer. A series of flashes appear simultaneously on his monitor, and then he clicks around, opening up a small window containing hundreds of folders.
Normally I wouldn't be so open to sharing files like this. Nevertheless, there's a folder I'd like to bring to your attention.
The fox opens up the folder labeled ARC_C614_2. Another window pops up, but it's completely empty, causing Javier to stare blankly at the screen.
Huh?
Rue leans in and shakes his head, clearly perplexed by what he's seeing. Where's the data file? Javier opens up a terminal, his paws flying across the keyboard as he types in a series of commands. He then shakes his head, a look of frustration crossing his face.
It's missing. But C6141 and C6143 are present and available.
Sorry, what's missing? And what does 1 and 3 mean?
C614 is a case number, and the information and data gathered are organized into days.
So, day 2 is missing. Yes, but I've never seen data just go missing. It's always deleted. Didn't Lawrence give us the data? Maybe we could ask him about it. Rue scoffs and sneers at us. Maybe we could ask him why he deleted it.
Let's not jump to conclusions yet. I swore the data file was there when I decrypted it. I wonder.
The fox frantically resumes typing. My eyes captivated with just how fast he compressed the keys. Filled with vertical Dorito chip torture. Oh no! That is terrifying. I glance over at Rue, his attention fully absorbed by the screen, where several loading bars appear and disappear intermittently. Several moments go by before Javier finally stops and turns around to look at us.
Strange.
Good strange or bad strange?
The last modified date for the original decrypted data was over 2 years ago.
So someone deleted it then.
It would appear so. Which means Lawrence couldn't have done it, even if you wanted him to, Rue.
Ha! Even if day 2 is gone, we still have days 1 and 3, right?
Yes, we do, but they're not nearly as important.
Pull them up. We don't have much of a choice now. Javier complies and opens up the 2 folders, each containing their respective data files. Rue and I start to skim through the contents of the files as Javier opens and expands them on a screen. So, if I understand what I read, day 1 was mainly the discovery of the fire at the harbor, and day 3 was collecting evidence.
It would appear so.
Sorry, I'm still confused. Where did this information come from? I thought you guys already knew about this. What's my favorite character in this VN? I mean, it should be pretty obvious. It should be pretty obvious who my favorite character is. I don't know who that is. Should be obvious who my favorite character is. I mean, he's in this room right now. He's in the room. He is very attractive and is an amazing person and is just a truly epic guy. Just a truly epic guy. Probably the greatest guy in this visual novel. The greatest guy ever. He's super fucking smart and brave. That's right, it's Javier! Just kidding, it is Rue. This data was requested straight from the police department that conducted their own investigation at the time. The files that we have at ARC are compiled from news articles and third-party outlets, our own research. Like, I love Javier, love him to death. He's probably a great guy, but to me at least, he is nowhere near attractive enough. He is nowhere near as attractive as Rue. I'm sorry. If I had to choose him and between him and Aaron.
Yes, and on rare occasions we're approved access to government documents through the Freedom of Information Act.
Wait, doesn't that mean... I watched the two men closely, noticing their expressions change as they seem to be figuring something out that I'm not quite grasping.
How interesting. Yes, it would appear so.
Rue chuckles as he sits down on Javier's bed. I'm so lost. What does this mean? I stop and stare at the two men as things click in my head. Wait, the information was from the police station, and if we didn't delete it, then they must have.
Correct, that is highly likely, although you're missing a small but crucial step. The local government mandates the release of information to us, but it's unclear whether the government requested the police to delete it, or if the police did it on their own.
I wonder why they're trying to hide the contents of day 2. If I remember correctly, it was the day the survivor allegedly came out to make some statements. But what happened?
When we like to know, we're not sure what happened to them, or what kind of statements they made. Or even what they truly look like.
Sounds like there was a massive cover-up, but I don't understand why. Were they being protected or being silenced?
Those are the same questions that I have, but we need more leads.
Well, now that you have some... Well, looks like you have some important phone calls to make, don't you? Javier expresses his annoyance with a shake of his head.
Fine. You two get out of my room. I need to focus.
Rue gets up and pats me on the back, gesturing towards the door.
Please try to keep things clean. And don't even think about doing anything lewd. I'm serious. I just cleaned.
Yeah. Aww. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. So, what's the plan now? How about some food? Rue makes his way to Javier's pantry, pulls out some bread and throws it in a nearby toaster. I watch over and perch on a small bar stool situated just across the kitchen counter, observing Rue as he ransacks Javier's kitchen. Are we allowed to just take food like that? Yeah. What's he gonna do? It's just toast. Makes a good point. I don't think Javier would mind, right? Okay, I'll have a slice. Rue gives me an approving grin and waits by the toaster as he stares back at Javier's room. I haven't. Could you post it in the server? If it's bad enough, be sure to mark it as spoilers. Well, what do you think of Javier's place? Cozy enough for you? I think we're too big. I can barely fit on the stool. That's Javier for you. Hope it doesn't bother you too much, because he's most likely going to ask you to stay here with him. Oh? We need to keep an eye on you, and he's the most skeptical of you, so... I wouldn't mind. I actually kind of like talking with Javier. Rue playfully laughs at me after giving me a look. You should say that in front of him. Wait, what? Why? He'll freeze up with embarrassment. Oh, haha, would he really? He doesn't seem like the type to be embarrassed. Wait, now that I think about it, what even is Javier's type? I don't know much about him. Actually, could you tell me a bit about Javier? Interested in the fox? I roll my eyes at Rue's playful jest. Not like that. I just realized I don't know much about Javier. Or you, for that matter. How did you guys come to join ARC? The toaster clicks and the wolf passes me a slice of toast, as he devours his in a single bite. Personally, I don't know much about Javier either. Never cared to ask. Really? But you guys work together, right? He stays out of my business and I stay out of his. There's not much you probably don't already know. You mentioned to me before that he's from Mexico. Yeah, makes sense. I could pick up on his slight accent. Right. And as for ARC, well, I joined a couple of years ago, a few months before the harbor fire. Javier was already working there for a couple weeks before me. An accountant of all things. He was hired as an accountant at ARC. At least that's what people told me. What can he not do? Physical labor. He's pretty weak, some kind of medical condition. Yeah, right, he was struggling to carry those supplies from dust earlier. What about you? I was hired to do investigations, mostly field work. At some point we were short on help, and I needed someone to come along with me for a case. So our boss assigned Javier with me since he was the only one available. After seeing the results we brought back, we ended up officially working together for most investigations. Wow, and what did you guys do in that first investigation together? Someone died, and we were hired because the client had strong suspicions of foul play. Damn fox surprised me. I had no idea he knew how to disable and reveal hidden cameras. Made maneuvering around a million times easier. In the end, it was because of Javier that we found out the real culprit. I wonder what Javier's field work was like I wonder what Rue's field work was like before Javier joined him. Javier's bedroom door opens and peek out just as I'm finishing my toast, his brow raised in curiosity.
It's rude to talk behind people's backs, especially when you're a guest at their place.
I was just asking about how you and Rue first became... Oh, fuck. Okay. My brain stopped for a second. I was just asking about how you and Rue first became investigation partners. Rue was telling me about how you made things easier by disabling cameras and such.
Well, yes, I suppose I did make things easier. That was my intention of tagging along. Anyway, Rue, I need to call the department. My access was apparently revoked and I don't know your details.
Alright. Javier and Rue swap places with Javier digging around his cupboard. Okay, I'm going to open that up on the other laptop. The laptop with the Twitch stuff. I don't know. I'm going to open that up. I'm kind of curious what it is. Oh! Oh my god! Oh my... That is beautiful! Yes! Yes! thing I've ever seen. Yes, that is glorious. Oh my god, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Rue and Javier swap places with Javier digging around his cupboard.
I see you and you have invaded my pantry.
Feeling a bit guilty, I nod as he sighs back, trying to maintain an innocent look.
Do you want some water to wash down the bread you stole from me? Or maybe some horchata?
Just water will be fine. He mumbles something to himself as he pours another cup for me. Javier takes out his phone and glances at it before looking out the window.
I need to pick up something downstairs. I trust you won't tear down my entire apartment while I'm gone.
I smile at Javier's remark, but my expression fades as I realize he's not joking. You can count on me.
Good.
He didn't mention how long he'd be gone, but I'm assuming he'll be back soon. I get up and decide to walk around the living room, the bookshelves catching my interest. I glean through his collection, reading whatever titles catch my eye. The Science of Social Engineering, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Quantum Physics for Dummies. I don't know how many parts this update is going to be because there's 18k words. So yeah, it's probably going to end up being split in two. I spent the next few moments seeing if there are any books that I recognize. Nope, looks like we have different tastes. Oh, what's this down here? Squat down just enough so I'm able to read the title from the spine. Don... I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm just gonna...
Self-voicing enabled. Don Quixote. Self-voicing disabled.
The book seems to be badly damaged, but somehow still intact. Alright, we're gonna stop here for the ad. Wanna break from the ads? Cats, I will never get tired of your no ad stance. The book seems to be badly damaged, but somehow still intact. Man, Javier sure likes to read.
What do you think you're doing?
I look over and see the box dropping his package and rushing towards me, completely consumed with panic. I was just looking to see what kind of books you like to read. Fox wedges himself between me and the bookshelf, frantically checking the condition of the books.
Sorry, I don't usually have visitors. If you're interested in reading something, please let me know and I'll get it for you.
I didn't touch any of the books, if that's what you're wondering. My gaze follows Javier back to the package on the floor near the door. Do you need help with that? What is that?
I don't need to tell you. But if you must know, I'd rather just show you.
Javier opens it with his claws, pulling out one large and one smaller box from within.
Here, it's heavy.
He passes the smaller light box to me as he puts away the larger one. I open it and pull out some chemicals packaged in plastic. The fuck? Open and pull out some bottles of chemicals packaged in plastic. This is ninhydrin and methyl violet 10B. Am I saying that right?
Yes, I ordered to test for preference and such since I was running out.
I thought ARC would have those for you.
And we're a private investigation firm, not a forensics firm, although we do get subsidized for our own materials.
What about the other box? What's that for? He brings the large box back into view and I notice him shying away from it.
It's a model airplane.
That's cool. Does it fly?
Some do, but not this one.
How long have you been collecting these?
The ones in my room, almost 5 years now.
Really? That's really neat. Maybe you could show some off to me later.
Sure thing.
I want to ask more, but Rue suddenly appears, looking irritated. Javier, I'm done.
Okay.
Fox looks relieved that we changed the topic and returns to his room.
Please not disturb me while I'm in my room. I need to concentrate. You two can use my lab room's laptop to print and review some investigation reports I've prepared.
How long are you going to take?
Maybe may take until the investigation later this evening.
Fine. Speaking of which, we should get there earlier than planned. I'd prefer if we could do our own search around first without Lawrence. Fox rolls his eyes and waves dismissively at Rue.
Fine.
We're going to leave off here tonight. Javier is so baby girl. He is so baby girl. Rue's more baby girl. He is. Well, anyways. Stay safe. Have a good night. Javier is a robot, and I will see you all tomorrow.